I wake from my slumber. I wish I could call you up, miss how you'd put your love.
Hey guys, welcome to Darkgirlscantoo. Today I am super excited because we are going to be talking about all things moving advice. We're going to talk about what that process was like for me, and we're also going to be talking about some of the things that I did to make that process as smooth as possible. So hopefully after this advice, if you are considering starting your life over somewhere else, this will be super helpful for you. So normally, of course, when I'm doing my makeup and I'm giving you guys my spill, I tell you about the products that I'm using, but because I'm going to be talking about something different today, I will be linking everything at the bottom in the description box, or I will be putting it on the screen. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So of course, you already know how we're going to start this thing off with a fresh face. I've already washed and moisturized. I'm about to prime my face. I have my hair twisted and pulled back, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Today I wanted to do this really cute bold green look that I saw on Instagram, but before I get into that, I need to do these brows first. And I know I keep saying I'm going to give you guys a brow tutorial. It is coming, so just be on the lookout for that. But I actually did just upload a mini tutorial on TikTok, so if you are interested in seeing how I do my brows, you can go ahead and check that out. It is a quicker tutorial, but like I said, I will be doing a more lengthy and detailed tutorial on YouTube soon. So eyebrows are done, and now let's get into this face. So just a little bit of backstory about me, just in case you haven't seen any of my previous videos. I am from Kansas City. I went to school in Atlanta, Georgia, and right before I was about to graduate, the pandemic hit. They basically told us that we had to go home, in so many words. And so while I'm thinking that I'm about to, start my life in Atlanta potentially, or, somewhere else, I had to go home and go back to the drawing board and figure out exactly what it was that I was going to do. Of course, in the midst of that, I was talking to my best friend about my plans, and she also expressed that she was interested in moving and starting over somewhere else as well. And so then we decided that it might be a good idea for us to go on that journey together. So we ended up picking a few places. She did not want to live in Atlanta. Atlanta was not on the list at all. We ended up deciding on Texas. We just didn't know where in Texas. Long story short, we, like I said, narrowed it down and ended up picking Houston, and now we're here. I would say the first thing that we did was, like I said, list out a bunch of different places that we could see ourselves living. And then as we did that, we saved up some money to actually go visit those places, because of course it's one thing to talk to people who live there, or look at things online. It's an entirely different thing to actually be there and experience the atmosphere for yourself. And I think that was the thing that solidified it the most for us, actually being down here and feeling it out, meeting the people, going out and just experiencing Houston itself. So like I said, step one is definitely making a list and narrowing it down to maybe 2 or 3 places, and then actually going to go visit those places. Next thing that I would say that you should do is do as much research as you can. Once you narrow it down and you figure out which place you want to live, do your research on things like the cost of living. So what are the gas prices like? If I wanted to rent an apartment down there, what would those prices look like? What does health insurance look like? What does car insurance look like? Because depending on which city you live in, the prices can fluctuate. And not only that, but I would also try and figure out or do some research on the different neighborhoods in that city, just so you know exactly where you're going and exactly what you're getting yourself into. Because, for example, you don't want to move somewhere that has an extremely high crime rate, and you want to make sure that that city is going to, or that neighborhood is going to have the things that you need close by, if that's important to you. So do your research, do your research, do your research. The next thing that I would say is super important is to make a list of, while you're doing your research, also be looking for different apartments and make a list of those apartments. What me and my friend did was we made an apartment comparison sheet. and we listed out the name of the apartment, the location, the price. We also ranked them. We added the pros and the cons in there, and then we also put the amenities, and that made everything so much easier, just because, you know, as we were trying to narrow it down, we were able to put everything was side by side, so it was easy to compare them. I would say doing that definitely made the process a lot easier and simpler, because there wasn't a whole bunch of back and forth. Everything was right there in front of us. Nowadays, there are so many different resources you can use to find apartments. Heck, I get a bunch of ads on Instagram every day. So even if you wanted to just look on Instagram, I'm sure you could find something reasonable, especially down south. There are a lot of different reasonably priced apartments. You can use sites like Zillow.com, I think they have apartments on there, rent.com, apartments.com. There are countless resources. All right, so next on the list is make a list of all of the things that you would need for your apartment once you move, and all of your potential expenses. And this step is really important for the next step, actually. But this step is important because this will give you an idea of how much you would need to save. It's not gonna give you an exact amount, of course, because you wouldn't know. Things come up, things change, especially when you're transitioning to, you know, living by yourself. But this will give you an idea of what your monthly expenses would look like. So whenever you're getting your savings together, you know, like, okay, this is what I need per month, so in total this is what I need in the end before I move, before I can feel comfortable enough to move. And the next step, and probably the most important step if you ask me, because I am a very paranoid person, is start saving now. If moving is what you want to do, you need to be saving every little thing that you have. So whenever you have a little bit, you know, extra left over from your check, put that away, because trust me, you are going to need it. So for me, I ended up saving, because I am an anxious person and I just want to make sure that I'm covered in every way. I ended up saving a lot more than I needed to. I think I ended up saving at least 5 to 6 months of rent plus a little extra. But really, when I asked most people what they did, they told me 3 to 4 months of rent and expenses would be okay. So I think as long as you have that, you will be good, because you never know what can happen. You know, you can move down or move wherever you want to move and your car could break down, for example, or, you know, just something crazy. You just never really know. And so because we never know, you just want to be prepared for whatever comes your way. And I think 3 to 4 months is good, because it also allows you, you know, a decent amount of time to figure out what kind of job you want to work. Okay, so I've powdered and now I am baking, and I'm about to start my eyes, but I think I'm just gonna let you guys watch me do my eyes. Your girl can't do too many things at once, and I definitely need to focus for this look, because I don't think that I've done anything like it. So I'll just let you guys watch, and then I'll be back for the rest of the video.
I could call you up, miss how you'd put your love on me.
Why you got my number? Wish I could feel your touch. Wish you could follow up on me.
You never know when to chill. Always talk about keep it real. Only till you've had your fill. Then you wanna cry ill will. Really thought you know the deal. Oh well, I guess that's what happens. The two fools be falling in love, mixing some pain and some passion. Nothing is ever enough. If you can take my hand, I promise we'll fall love again, love again. Yeah, yeah. If you can take my hand, I promise we'll find love again. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay guys, so I am finally done. Whew, that was a process, but yeah, I think it came out really cute, really nice. It could have been a little neater, but I think it's good enough. Yeah, right now I'm just about to bronze and finish up our list. All right, so sorry guys, as I was editing my last 3 videos, I realized that my phone had done some weird thing where it distorted my voice, and so unfortunately I'm gonna have to do a quick voiceover to list out the last few steps for you guys. The second to last step that I said was to buy all of the things that you need for your apartment slowly as you save, so that you don't bite off a huge chunk of your savings after you move. I made the mistake of doing this. Well, not really. I did buy some things before I moved, but I think that I could have bought more, because when you don't, you end up thinking that you have a certain amount to live off of without accounting for the stuff that you still need to buy. So I would encourage you to, as you save, to slowly buy the things that you're going to need. The very last step that I said was to make sure that you are searching for jobs. When you move, it's important to know that you might not have the job of your dreams. I know, as recent grads, we expect for things to go a certain way after college, but things, especially when you're moving, may not turn out that way. So I think it's important to keep that in the back of your mind, and then also just try and find something that you are comfortable with for the time being. And then once you get down there and you get settled, then you can slowly work on finding the job that you really want. I also added that if after you've added everything up and done all the math and you feel like the process is going to be way too expensive for you, I would definitely consider getting a roommate. I think I ended saying that if you follow these steps and of course do extra research outside of this, I believe that everything will end up coming together for you. Moving is a huge step. It's a big deal. It takes a really brave person. It's a really commendable thing. And as long as you take your time, use your best judgment, and make the best decisions that you can, things will come together for you. So just stay prayed up and you've got this. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you're already in the process of any of this. If you have any questions, any more questions about my experience, I'd be happy to give you some more advice and help you out as much as possible. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
I'll be clinging on to you.